Welcome again. This is me, Dr. Zina, and today I am going to talk about a very interesting subject. Actually, when I started to read and prepare for today's program, it took me like 6 hours of reading non-stop. Then I had to do something and I went back. I had to read for about more 5 hours. To be honest, if I keep my entire life reading and reading about this subject, it won't finish. Because today I'm gonna talk about the brain and the power of positive thinking. This subject has really interested me. After all what I read, I was summarizing the most important facts that I want to share with you guys, because I want you to have this passion of start to read and educate yourself about how amazing our brain is. Everything we studied like 20 years and all the knowledge that we had from previous scientists figured out was like whether incomplete or they're untrue. The fact that I'm going to share about today, so I'm starting about that. Do you know that the brain is the fattest organ in your body? It weighs about like 60% of it is fat, and it weighs about like 3 pounds, which is 1.5 kilograms. That's really a lot of fat in your brain. Your brain is made up of cells, and these cells, they have the ability of getting electrical, or let's say an action potential. Like for example, when you poke yourself, you are receiving a stimulation, which is like you got hurt. Then this is going to be transported through your nerves up to your brain through nerves, and each nerve is made up of smaller cells. They're called neurons. This connection, the action potential, is faster than the fastest car in the world, which is the Hennessy Venom GT, which is 270 miles in an hour. Do you know that your brain has no pain receptors? When I said pain receptors, it means when I got a stimulant by something poked me or I touched something hot, then I feel it because it's something like my brain translated. But it's called the pain receptors. The brain itself, they don't have a pain receptors that enables the surgeon to operate the surgery on a patient who is awake. And there's a picture of someone who's playing guitar and they are operating in their brain. Your brain is responsible of your thinking. So the average person thinks about like 7,000 thoughts in a day. If these thinking, or the majority of these ideas, were negative thinking or stressful, it might lead you to stress, paranoia, and depression. So once I started to read about how when you think in a negative way or when you stress yourself too much, what is going to happen in your body, and why some people learn faster than the others. Some students, they attend the classes and teachers have to keep on repeating over and over until they got it, while others, they have to get it once. So I could find answers for these amazing questions. So what happens to our body literally when we think in a negative way? Actually, when we think in a negative way, we are tricking our brain that there is a threat, an immediate threat. So your body will respond to this threat by a reaction which is called a fight or a flight. What happens? It means like something is scaring you or you've been attacked, so your body is going to respond. When your body responds in fight or flight response, this will increase your heartbeat, increasing your breathing rate, your face, where sometimes they can become pale, dilated pupil. So your body literally changes according to what you think. So harmful beliefs, they really can hurt your body. Medical establishment has recorded, I don't know if you heard about this, but if this is your first time to hear about it, I am going to explain what is the placebo effect, or the power of healing when you think in a positive way. The placebo effect is like, I am trying to convince, if I have a trial and a lot of patients participate in this trial, I am telling them that we are going to do a fake, actually it's a fake surgery, or a sugar pills instead of a medication, or just a regular normal saline, which is they think, but we keep on convincing them that this has a magical healing power. Studies showed the percentage of getting better it's between 18 to 80% just with a placebo effect. Yeah, so this study for the American Chinese and for white people, the American Chinese, like 30,000 who participated in this study, and 400,000 randomly selected people, white people, different races, but they are white people. The death record study showed that the Chinese American die 5 years younger than the white people. So if there's someone I have to blame, or the study showed that the Chinese astrology or the Chinese medicine is ill-fated, because they believe if they were born in this year, it means they are going to have certain disease. And another example, for example, Angelina Jolie, she's experienced a lot of problem in her health. Maybe she was from a family, they ill kind or sick kind people, they keep on thinking, oh, we have cancer in the family, we have diabetes in the family. When you keep on thinking in this way, it's going to be real, and your body is going to experience these physical feelings, literally. So I will list what we can do to improve our brain and how can we keep our brain. Get enough sleep. Because if you're learning something at school and you didn't sleep, or you're going to the exam without sleeping, literally the word when you sleep over it, it really helps. When you have a new knowledge and new information and you sleep over it, this will help to stay in your brain for longer enough, for long-term education. Eat healthy, get food that is rich of broccoli, like for example, rich in calcium, omega-3, which is like in nuts and fish, calcium, tyrosine, which is amino acid that can be found in eggs. It's really helpful. When I said it's helpful, because this will help the connection between the neurons that I already talked about. There was saying, one of the things that I'm shocked of is when they say when you're a kid you learn the best, when you're an adult the way your brain is going to learn is going to be not the same as you were a kid. It's right and wrong at the same time. When you're born, the connection in between your neurons, they're like around 2,500. So the neurons are the nerve cells that are responsible for transmitting the electrical impulses in between the neurons. So at the end of each neurons and the beginning of the adjacent neuron, there's the dendrites, and the end it's called the axon. In between them, there's a place called the synapse. When you're born, you have 2,500 synapses or connection for each neuron. But when you are in the age of 3 years old, the connection is about 15,000. So why do we need this much of connection? Because you are like a sponge in this age. You are absorbing the knowledge and the information from here and there. So when you should know what the sound of pig looks like when it's an oink, and when your mom is playing the peekaboo games for you, so you are trying to memorize the images, so you need in this connection. Once you're adult, this number, the 15,000 connection, is going to be halved. But it means less connection. Well, literally is not, we don't need to know what is the pig sound looks like, because you already know it, and you know there is still a face behind when someone hiding themselves with their hands. So we don't need this connection anymore. So if we are not using this connection, they shrink in number. So your brain is going to keep on changing according to the new information that you're applying your brain with. So if you're learning a new language, read these heavy books that you've been ignoring for a while. In this way, you are increasing the number of connection in your brain. So you are, some people, they just compare the computer to a human brain, but it's just, I would say, it's just a computer that can grow more and more electrical circuits. So you are growing new synapses, new connection whenever you read more. So the people who read when they are blind and they touch the letters when they read, we figure out, thanks for the advanced technology with the MRI, we could see the part of the brain that is sensory region is bigger than the people who don't read in this way. The taxis drivers, because they have to memorize the mapping, so they have regions in their brain different than others. So keep on enrich your brain with the new challenges and new information. Your brain is you shape your brain according to your behavior. So you can have the brain that you want according to what you feed your brain or what your behavior. Back again to talk about learning, why people learn faster than the others. The way of learning, it's has a good connection with the memory. How can I keep this information for long enough? That's why I have long-term memory and a short-term memory. When I was talking about the synapses, and I told you there is between each neuron, the end of one nerve, and with the adjacent nerve, there is a space, and this space is called the synapse. At the end of the axon, which is called the last part, the endoplate or the axon of the first neuron, there is a chemical that is going to be secreted to be received by the adjacent neuron. This chemical is going to be secreted when you are experiencing the short-term memory. So when you are getting new information, for example, you studied, and then you go to the exam the next day, suddenly you forgot. You have increased the concentration of this chemical in between your nerve cells, and this will just keep the short-term memory. If you want to get a long-term memory, actually the structural shape of your brain is changed. The structure of your brain is not the same. Why? Because as I said, just like the computer that can grow new circuits, your brain is going to grow new connections. So you are changing the structure of your brain on a cellular level. So you have more connection. This will support the long-term memory. In order to go from short-term memory, just with the concentration of the chemicals, to long-term memory is just by adding more connection and synapses between your neurons. You have to repeat and use and relearn these informations over and over. So today, for example, you are taking these informations from Dr. Zina's show. Well, your brain, if you are going to use the long-term memory, your brain structure is going to be changed on a cellular level. Rethink about what I just said. Keep on using these informations. They will stay with you forever, and then you will have more space in your brain that can get here and there and more information. So the question is there a special training or a gym for your brain? Well, yes, a lot. If you are going to on YouTube, read books, there are a lot of training and exercises that you can do to your brain that can help you to keep the memory for longer, change it to long-term memory. One of the exercises that just came now in my brain, I watched a lot, there are so many, and we're gonna play a video in the show. You use like your hands like this, and then rotate your fingers 10 times to the front, 10 back to the back. So 10 front, 10 to the back. This will help. By the way, it's not going to be easy if you're not trained enough. Use every single finger of your hand. Front 10, count till 10, and back, count till 10. This, because your brain has two hemispheres, you're connecting the sensory with the motor skills of your brain. There's another game that I really enjoy doing it, and I'm asking everyone in my family to do it, is you're connecting the two hemispheres. Hemispheres means half of a ball of the brain, because the brain is like two balls attaching. So this is the right and the left hemispheres. Is we write the word red, but we color it in orange, for example, and you have to call what the color looks like. There, I will play some videos in the show, and if you're struggling in school, if you think you cannot keep a long-term memory, these exercises really help you a lot. Before I end, your God has gave you a really precious gift. which is the autopilot. I like to call it the autopilot. The autopilot is just like when you are in an airplane and suddenly there's something happened to the captain, then there's an autopilot. You have an autopilot inside your body, but not to make you fly, to heal all the problems inside your body. If you have any problem, any disease, with the power of positive thinking, it could show an amazing improvement in health. So let it work, which is, we call it the immunity sometimes. You can heal. We know some diseases, if the patient are not getting, some doctors, they are becoming so insensitive to patients and they tell them that right away, well, you're dead case, you're not going to do any better, this is the end of your life, you're getting worse. These patients, even if there is a chance, with this insensitivity from, I do respect all the doctors, but from others, they don't study what is care of nurturing care. It really can help and it really can stimulate your autopilot to fix any damage or problems in your body. So that was about, don't forget to meditate, because it's just a lot. So my brain is just keep on flashing me and I just, all the information. Meditating is just to clear up your brain from all the negative thoughts. There are techniques. If 2 minutes meditating a day, it will help you a lot. One of the way that like I can use it for myself to control my anger, for example, or whenever I have bad feelings and I don't feel good about myself, I will, I have actually a lot of ways, but one of them is like a song, for example, I used to hate a lot, then I played on music and put my earpiece and I listened to this music as loud as I could, and I have to show no reaction. I'm treating my brain that I don't get mad or let the negativity of this song that I don't like to affect my brain. Other thing is just stand still and watch the hour, look at the clock, and for 1 minute without thinking of anything. It's a way of clearing up a mind as well. Let your brain and your mentality as positive, as peaceful as it could be, and you will see a dramatic change in your body. You will be surprised with the result. That was, because I don't have more time, that's what I wanted to share with you. I wish I was beneficial. I wish your brain is different on a cellular level now after what I told you. I really wish you have a peaceful, happy life forever. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more and more of cool information. Thanks again. See you soon.